right, so there's a on the 1 minute time frame. Clearly, the fair value gap that was once violated has been violated. There's nothing there for that anymore, and we also see a change in state here. Now, I'm just I don't know. I just wanted to hit this level at this point. I gotta see something like that. I don't know. Taking this sell would be in my opinion would be a little too early. I would probably just wait, and I might be wrong. I may be wrong, but like I said, look at that. That's crazy. Let's see. Let me see something real quick. What I'm looking for on a lower time frame is the same typical thing I look for all the time on a higher time frame, guys. Look at this. This is what I'm looking for here. Talk about this all the time. It's no different. Fractal nature of the market. What you see here is 30. It's on a 30-second time frame. It's no different. Boom. What's gonna happen next? Anybody can tell me what's gonna happen next? Boom, boom, boom. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm just focusing on this area at this point. So it's showing me what I want there. Now, will this be the best entry model? This. Sheesh. Let's see what happens when price, and it already tapped into the fair value gap that was formed there. Yeah, I think we should get into for a sell order. Sell opportunity. See what happens. We should do market. Look at this. This is crazy. You see how it's tearing down now? That's crazy. Let's get in our sell opportunity. Take profit level is there. Okay, cool. Let's run it. Okay. Oh, hold on. What's up with that? What's going on? You do market. I put a sell limit there. Let me see. That's why. Let me see. I do a market. Stops. Stop 22. 111. $22,111. That's why I don't like using the. Let's see. 22,111. We are deep in profit right now. You may say I'm trying to get just my stop loss. Deep in profit. As you can see, price is trading lower. I don't want to limit. I need to get my market execution. Price is starting to tank. This is the 30-second time frame. We don't need to be in the 30-second time. We can be in the 1 minute. It doesn't matter. But I had to get down to the 30 seconds to see what's happening, whether it's worth the sell. Oh, look at that. So in the 1 minute time frame, we also have a institutional vacancy created here, which is a good indication that price do want to trade a lot lower. It's a telltale sign. Take profit levels. Let me see. This is where I get confused at with this particular broker itself. Because if I use the limit, it shows me where my take profit and stop loss will be. But then when I go back to market execution and then I plug in the numbers, it just shows completely different. Like, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I might have to like close out these manually. So I'm going to do it manually, guys, for this time. Having a little issue, but it's all good. As you can see, we're deep in profit right now. Let's see, we're probably almost at like, let's see if that's good. We're almost at 1R, I think. So we already passed CP, and now we're looking to get to at least 1R. 1R looks like hitting here. It's also going to take out this sell side liquidity to the downside. We can get rid of this. See, here's where say price point 22, deep in profit, guys, deep in profit. 22,037. This is the lit model, and as you can see, it's tearing. It just almost tapped into TP2. Don't get too greedy, anything like that. I have a stop loss, a mental stop loss that I'm going to initiate, just because I don't want to. This is my account. I don't want to over. How can I say this? I don't want to make a mistake with these brokers and then I just lose out on some money or just some situation. So usually I use the limit orders for my entries. In this particular time, I was wrapped up in figuring it out at the time, so I just use the market execution. But mentally, I know where I'm going to close out. I know where I'm going to secure profits at. And as you guys can see, to the downside here, we have ways to go. This is like where I feel like this would be a pretty good take profit for today. Not to say that it won't continue to keep trading to the downside. We do see that this fair value gap just got filled. But the thing about this fair value gap, right? We talk about like orders, order processing. I don't know if I don't know if I ever told you guys about order processing, but essentially what happens is when you see a fair value gap form like this is a market imbalance. So just remove the word fair value gap and think about imbalance. Anytime you see an imbalance form in the market, there's a reason behind why it forms in the market, right? There's a real good reason why. And why is it that this fair value gap will hold price, right? Why is it that price respect this fair value gap? And the question you should ask yourself is, when you come to the charts, we all can agree that we see filled orders, right? We all can see filled orders. The chart itself, if you go back to past price action, whether it's months out, whatever, years out, you will see filled orders. The only time you don't see an unfilled order is when you see price and it leave these imbalances. So essentially, for a prime example, on the 1 minute time frame, just at our entry, this is an imbalance. This imbalance itself, what makes this imbalance so important? Why will price react from this level? I understand that this particular level, there's a strong displacement in price because there's a lot more sellers and buyers there. Now, the reality, what happens is when price comes back to that area, the leftover orders still have to be filled. So if there's a lot more sell orders there than it is buy orders, it's going to create another reaction. This is why this move right here when price came back down and tapped into the fair value gap, and it completely expanded from the fair value gap, right? And it came back. When it came back and went back into this area, it expanded again, right? This only means that at that price point, 22,040, right? At that particular price point, tells me that there's still leftover orders. Now, price came back to this particular area and it traded lower. The the buy orders that was once there, right? There was no sell orders, there were a lot more buy orders there. That's no longer active. Those buy orders has been processed. So now this imbalance will fail more than likely, because there's no real reason for price to create these expansion moves. So this is happening at every pricing level. There's somebody buying and selling at every pricing level. And because of that reason, this is why fair value gaps fail. This is why levels fail. This is why fair value gaps work or hold price. This is why if the range, the opening range is important, right? I'm showing you guys how you can look at the price charts without using these indicators. They have indicators like VWAP and stuff like that, right? And they claim to say that these indicators can show you that there's filled or unfilled orders that need to be filled. The reality of it is there's no true indicator that can show you where unfilled or filled orders are. That takes you, right? It takes you to get inside the market to then see where you want to fill the order, right? And you have to be the indicator. You got to get into the market and literally break it, like how I'm breaking it down to you. You got to see, all right, this is what's happening. And then and then when you do that, right, you can layer it with these other indicators. You can layer it. Like, there's no reason not to. Like, you can layer it with other indicators. So you are the indicator. Remember that. You are the indicator. You don't need someone to tell you that there's imbalances in this area, because 9 times out of 10, that indicator itself may just be good enough to tell you something, and it makes you happy that you got knowledge from it or information. And then when it works once or twice, now you're fulfilled. But the reality of it is, you don't need an indicator. You are the indicator. Remember that. Always remember that. You are the indicator. So anything someone can show me with the indicator, I can literally show you in price action why it's doing what it's doing, you know? So the indicators I have are not, in my opinion, they're not indicators, they're more like analyzers, because we're not basing our decision off what we see. We're utilizing these indicators to give us true insight of the true of technical analysis, so we can determine whether we're going to buy or sell. As you can see, we are deep in profit. We penetrated TP2. We're at 1R. Remember, guys, it's Friday. Don't get too greedy. So make sure you secure some profits. I'm only running with 3 contracts today. Not a lot. The confirmation entry was when we was on a 30-second time frame, right? So on a 30-second time frame, one thing I want you to focus on is what I always talking about, right? Price delivery sequence. All I'm doing is just bringing it. This is why it's very fractal, right? So I talk about how fractal the price delivery sequence is. All I did was come to the price. I came to this level. I came to the 30-second time frame, and when I seen that there was a penetration of price, if you go to all my entries, you can go back to every entry I took within the last year, you're going to see this type of pattern form first. And then what I always look for then within inside these patterns, you look for context, right? We always talk about this context, right? Very important. Do anybody have any questions about why we got into that entry and we're deep in profit at the time? Everybody good? Great. I guess everybody good. Did anybody get inside this trade setup? We already at 1 hour. Did anybody get in? Good, great job, Rebecca. As long as you're learning, you know, this is not a signal group, of course, but as long as you're learning and you're seeing the process of what I'm doing and how I'm implementing what I'm telling you in live time, I'm happy. I'm happy. I've grown to learn that some people, some people is here to eat. They're here to pass challenges and stuff like that. And it's nothing wrong with passing a challenge, but relying on me to pass your challenge for you is not good for your longevity. And this is why I try to promote people to actually learn how to do this, like really learn how to do this. But quick short scalp, I don't want to be too greedy, but I do want to. I kind of feel like this fair value gap is important, right? The fair value gap that's down here is very important. So I'm just waiting for price to show me that it wants to attack that. The fact that it took out this immediate low, it violated this fair value gap. We have an institutional vacancy. So what an institutional vacancy is this? I was talking about the order processing, right? This is a clear indication that there is an imbalance in sales and buys. And then after that move, you see an expansion, right? So this move right here is a magnet on price. Price will come back up to this level eventually. Now, here's what gives me the confluence that the market is dominating to the downside. When it was created, we didn't see it on 30 seconds. We just kind of seen other confluences, and we just got in our entry. We went to the 1 minute. We noticed that there was that particular move being created, and because of that reason, it gives us that satisfaction that the market wants to go bearish, if not for a period of time, right? We're not talking about just going bearish the whole day, right? It could possibly just be going bearish to attack external liquidity. And that's just a phase in the market to where you're now looking at how the algorithms work. This is why I said earlier, before we got into the entry, I said all it takes is for the market to go above that level. It can be to one tick. It can be one tick above that level, right? And we see our strong reaction from that level. This is why I said that, because I understand that price itself has a way of making you it's I understand that how the algorithm work is, if it taps into any type of level or price itself, it becomes sensitive and it shows you what the true intention of it is. And that's all it is. Like, we might think, like, because our backgrounds or what we do for a living, we might think it's not that serious, or we may not think it's not that strenuous. But these algorithms, they know what they want to do. They know exactly how they want to deliver price. They know exactly what they want to do. So the more you kind of can feed into the algorithm itself and follow the algorithm, the more you will see what we're talking about here. And as you can see, we may see some sense of drawback, and that's fine. I'm going to be strong today. I'm gonna hold until it hit my level, because I only have 3 contracts, so there's not a lot for me to take. I'm not trying to. Well, I'm going to take off 1 contract. I'm being $200. So for me, I'm not going to secure some profits, because there's not a lot of profits to be secured. Usually I might go into my positions a lot higher, but today is Friday. I'm not trying to risk too much on this account, and I want to make sure that I grow my account slowly and surely. But my take profit level, in my opinion, should be this fair value gap. So I probably will either secure profits, maybe 2 contracts there and let the rest run, or maybe just close out the whole trade setup. And that'll be maybe like I would say that's like $700 to $800. That's pretty good in one day, guys. It's pretty good. I love to see it. As you can see, price respected that deviation. which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's common practice. Me personally, if you have I'll take risk off. I would take risk off at this particular level. Only because I understand that it will be a pullback due eventually, which is what we call the FVP model. That's the FVP model. That's this model. Model right here. That's this model, and it presents you another opportunity. And what that model does is it tells you and show you that if you already have true confluence in one direction, you then can wait for fair valuation to be met. Sorry for my vocab. To be met, and then you can also take a second entry, right? So usually I would get in at the order block formation, which is, I did that today. This was more so like the order block formation model. But the reality of it is you can also get in at the fair value. So 3 different models all within one particular trading session called the 3-headed dragon. And it works pretty good. Let me see. So we can kind of line that up. As you can see here, dominating the sellers are dominating the market right now, and we're just waiting for price to collapse that take profit. Don't be too greedy, guys. Anytime price get to a point where I'm like, well, I want to, it's a few ticks away, I'm going to tell you, please secure profit. Don't try to be too greedy to think that, well, it got to go to that particular level. Like, you don't get too greedy. Because I've lost a lot of money. Like, I've seen price reverse completely before even touching my take profit. So usually if it don't smack it within a period of time, it plays around, or maybe it shows me that it has some sense of like just closeness, maybe like a few ticks away, I'm closing out. I'm going to take my money and run, no arguments or anything. We are inside go to the 5-minute time frame. We do have ways to go, but today Friday, so I think I'm gonna close out in a minute. It's a good 500 piece on a Friday. It's cool. So let's see. I'm gonna close this out. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. I'm cool. No more contracts. 500 for the day. I'm out. I'm cool with it. There's no rush. So basically, the market, in my opinion, will continue to keep going down. There's no reason that it won't. But what I will say is this. The environment that we're in right now, the market is not at its optimal self. Meaning, on Fridays like this, you should not be sold on the idea that your markup is going to play out to perfection. Only because yesterday was news. Anytime after news, there's always some sort of like the market getting back to where it once was, like a big day on news. And also today is Friday, right? It's Friday, guys. Like, this is the emotional day in trading, in my opinion, because it can make or break your weekend. Like, if you go into the weekend with a losing week, or maybe you lost today, right? You carry that over into your life. It spills over into your life. This is why these are very important days for your psychology. Some people get defeated on Friday and study all weekend. They don't even spend time with their family because they're trying to figure it out. I lost my account. I've blown my account. I've lost $1,000. I've lost, it's been times I've had my big L's. I'm not going to talk about prices, but lost, like, money wise, I'm not even going to bring that up. Like, I try to shadow that. But the reality of it is, if you win, you win. You won. That's it. You win, you won. Like, that's it. You made whatever, 500,000. Cool. I'm gonna take that. I'm all right. You know, definitely when in my circumstances, I'm having a mental stop loss. Like, you know, so for me, I'm gonna take that and run with it. So that was a pretty good trade setup. I will be expecting a pullback eventually, and this is where the second entry will come in at, right? This is the second CSD entry, which is called FVP. It's called FVP because it's the fair value pullback. What is fair value? Fair value is when the market has to balance out before it moves from one phase to the next. During that period, during the fair value period, you should always focus on three objectives. One is equilibrium. Two is fair value gaps formed within certain type of areas in that zone, and three would be institutional vacancies. Where is the unfilled orders, right? Those unfilled orders is the only reason why the market is retracing. There's no other reason why the market is going back. Is the only reason it's going back to fill those orders to then deliver price in the same direction. So that pullback is only for that reason. What else? Yeah. So all three models enacted today. We got in at the order block formation, which is the CSD model itself. But that's really about it. It's not really a lot of moving parts to this model itself. A quick, easy 500 on a day. I'm cool with that. Rebecca, you still inside the trade setup? I think she says she's still inside the trade setup. My computer is pausing for some reason. I don't know why I keep doing that. Oh, no, I was asking, are you still inside the trade setup? Great. That's great. That's good. Now, you know what's crazy? What you know what so you're like new here. So if I was you, right, it's a section I have inside the channel, which is called the psychology section. In the psychology section, I have an area that's called it's called the call to action. And what happens is, I'm gonna be 1,000% with you, right? With just all the years of my trading. What happens is when we're in situations like this, right? So say if I was like, all right, I left money on the table, or maybe I can make more money, or maybe maybe I got out a little earlier, right? Whatever, right? All these different like psychological barriers you're gonna be facing in trading. I have a call to action sheet for everybody inside the CSD community. If you go to the psychology session and go to situational call to action, and you go down to what this looks like, I literally what I just did is what I put on that document. Exactly. Like during this time period, you got to be grateful. You made money, calm, like understand the environment you in. This may not be the best environment, and you won. You won. People right now, 95% of people have lost today. That's statistically proven. That's what's proven. There's no way that's argumentable. Like 95% of people have lost today, and you won, and you made money in the market. Go enjoy your life. Go be happy, right? So that's my whole like logic behind my trading. Yes, this week was kind of slow. Not a lot of entries being took. But we end up getting an entry on Friday, and we up. And people who still inside the trading tree, like I said, you still good. I'm just securing my profits that I'm getting out. I'm good with that. I gotta figure out why it keep doing that with my stop loss positions and my take profit on my market executions. I've been using a limit for this particular broker. And I realized that it worked well when it wants to, but sometimes it don't, and I don't like that. But 500 is pretty good. I like that 500 reward. And now I'm learning this info. Tick value, $50%. Yeah. So that's it for today's. Okay, sorry guys, I gotta come back and say something else. All right. Monday and Friday there will not be live sessions. No live sessions on Monday and Friday. It'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Also Wednesday I will be trading live on AppStreet's platform. Now, during those lives, I'm not going to be discussing too much of what we discuss in our personal chat, right? You guys have exclusive education and you got exclusive access to me. This group is no longer free right now. It's not free. I closed the doors up for being free, like the free community itself. Of course, it's a free community. It's the paid subscribers. I want to value my people inside. So Wednesday we will be on AppStreet. And that's about it. Look at that. It's about to tap right into the value area we was talking about. It's gonna hit that area. Like, it's going to hit that area. Guarantee you. Like, if you think about it. So, let me get into this. So, if you think about this, right? This area right here is what we're talking about. But it happened on the higher time frame. So, essentially, we talk about filled orders and unfilled orders. What make this area so prominent to be attacked, right? Why this area, right? Thank you so much. You welcome, Rebecca. You welcome. Welcome to the family. Make sure you go watch the what video I put out. I put a video up recently. Make sure you go watch. I think I put a video up about the same exact model. But here, where if you look at how the imbalance is formed, right? If you look at how the imbalance is formed, and you think about how fair value gaps, just we get so caught up in like these terminologies and stuff. Imbalance, right? We see imbalance in the market. The ones that have the most like priority are the ones that don't have any wicks. It's like a clear space in the market, right? We just seen that happen here on the 1 minute time frame. This is the priority for all the imbalances in this chart right now, like on this chart that we have on my screen. Now, one thing that I will say is the fair value gaps that we have marked, like, which is 1, 2. These 2 fair value gaps we have marked here, right? Why is it that these fair value gaps was not completely filled, but the ones up here were before we see the market reversal? So why is it that these fair value gaps aren't completely filled, but this one is? And then now we're looking at price reversing at this point, attacking these fair value gaps to the downside. That's institutional order flow being shown to you before you even recognize it. It's literally showing you what it wants to do, but we're taking our time before we make a decision. And because we took our time before we made a decision, and we use true context. Remember, I always talk about this, right? Context, framework, institutional order flow. We use true context with concept alignment. We now have a nice clean entry, right? Nice clean entry, nice clean exit. And now, like I say, I do believe it's going to continue to keep going down. I don't think it didn't come down here just to not tap into this, at least tap into this area right here. Give me 1 second. It didn't come down here just to tap in, not tap in this area. Boom. 21,960. It did not come down here just to play. So I think it will penetrate that level. But like I said earlier, I don't play with price. I don't care if my profit is here and price come here and it don't show that one. Nah, I'm closing out. I'm out. I'm good. But that's really about it. Today's session was pretty good. It was a good week. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Be expecting a pullback to happen. When that pullback happens, you can then re-enter in for a sell-off. But for those who got in during the model number 2 and 1, we are up. 3-headed dragon. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys Tuesday. Have a good weekend.